All right, Carmel.
Hi.
What's up? How you been?
I've been okay. No, I've not been okay. Except like it's been going down. I feel like people are just like with me. Like I had a service animal, but like literally, the baby guy that had been missing, that thought presumed dead, came back into the picture, and then he took the dog back. And now like he's doing business for this chick that he told me to befriend that I could trust, and I did. But then I heard on the block that she was gonna get robbed, and I knew who was gonna do it. And so when I let her know, and you think that she'd take my advice to heart, but she didn't take my advice to heart at all. In fact, she sat there ignoring me, and she just pulled that dude closer. And then next thing you know, I show up one night, and what do you know? Like something of hers goes missing, and I'm like, okay, like I'm just thinking like she's not gonna accuse me, right? Like I didn't think any, like I had no like qualms about it. Like everything was fine. Like I was comfortable. I thought like we were friends and stuff like that. And then here come to find out like the first thing the dude said was like maybe she took it. Like he pointed the finger straight at me and said and called me out. But the thing is, her cameras went off at like a certain time period, and they popped back on at 1:46. I got there after like 2, you know. So I kept saying that I got here after 2. So like, how is it that you're accusing me of this? And she wasn't hearing it. And so next thing you know, now she strip searches me. She like checks my shoes. She makes me take my shoes off 3 different times, and then she wants to sit there and say like, "If you have a compartment in your shoes, I heard a noise." I'm like, are you crazy? Like in my head, I was trying my hardest not to get volatile or like turn up on her, because like I hate that. I hate when people are disrespectful. I hate when people are mean. And yeah, it's bullshit. And then not once did she turn around to the very guy that I warned her about was going to rob her, did she not once ask him to empty his pockets. And so I was upset, and I was like, I'm going to leave. And at first she tried to keep me there and shit like that. And I was like, I'm bouncing. And then she's like, well, then don't come back. I'm like, okay, I won't come back. Okay, so moving on.
So how come you're on this side of town now? What happened to Sunny Slope?
Sunny Slope, I love Sunny Slope, but I just need to come home. I'm from the west side, that's where my roots are,
Okay.
And like, you can stay away for so long, but you're always gonna come back.
Hey, what happened to your boyfriend? Remember when we did the first interview? Mm-hmm. What happened to him?
Abel
said he got abducted or something?
I was worried about my baby guy, the one that from the first interview, like he got trafficked out and left in Texas and was told to walk back or pick up some illegals, but he saw some detectives looking at him through like binoculars. He could see him in the distance, and he's like,
oh, so he went into
he left
illegals?
He fell asleep in the back of some of these cars, and they took him out of the state.
Yeah.
And said, if you want to get back, then you want to use this car, then you got to bring these people with you. Otherwise, you can walk back.
So you got abducted by some serious people.
He's like, don't think we won't find you, bro. Like, and so he walked back. It took him 3 months to get back.
Man, that's crazy. Is he here in Phoenix now?
Yeah, he's here in Phoenix. He's over there in Glendale right now. But the thing is, like, I keep on trying to explain to him the meaning of loyalty. Like, loyalty isn't defined on who you're sucking. Like, sex is not defined loyalty. I keep on trying to tell this people a million times. Not in the beginning when love was created between man and woman, and it was just being with each other, being there for one another. That's what love is. Like doing something for them that matters. Yeah. Picking them before somebody else, And like, but he thinks, I don't want anyone else. Okay, dude, I wouldn't care if anyone else, just as long as you tell me and you cover that shit up. It's all good. But the fact that you want to sit there and you want to go put me last, I'm outside in the cold 2 nights in a row because you run off with my jacket, that's bro. That's really fucked. And I ended up being in that apartment complex last night. I was trying to go knock on the door to get my dog and like ask you about what's going on with my purse that he's supposedly helping me sell that I don't want any help selling. And I got confronted by a security guard. And the thing is, I had a friend with me. They didn't say anything to her. She continued walking off the property. And I was like, I'm going to walk off too. And immediately they went and used force. They used aggressive force. I mean, literally the cops took an hour and a half to get there. And that hour and a half, these 3 men would not take 2 men. One of them didn't want any part of it. Would not hands off me, dude. And I felt violated. Like, I fucking had scraped my body and stuff like that. Like, and I felt dirty because they were rubbing me around in the concrete and stuff. It was just the police officer came and they're like, "Who, ha, she's going to jail." The police officer dropped me off down here and then told me to have a good day because like he was gonna have any part of that. So like ultimately that shit sucked, you know. And then here I was talking to somebody that, you know, I was trying to do some business with, and he was just making it seem like he gave right, like, about like what was going on with my life. But here, come to find out, when it comes down to it, like that's not the case at all. He's like this undercover like wannabe dude, but he's out here talking to all these younger girls over here on Bethany Home right now. He goes by Red or Mike, and he getting in their heads and like taking these girls away from their dads and basically turning them out and put him on the blade.
Is it a white guy?
He's white, he's Irish, and he's black. He claims kinfolk, but when I was confronting him and I was claiming my set, he wouldn't want to say he's good with HA and Aryan Brotherhood. But I thought you were kinfolk, bro. You're not kinfolk, dog. You're a wannabe. But and then he wants to come rough me up in front of the laundromat, and I sat there and called for the security guard, and he turned around and walked off.
Yeah, people don't care what's going on out here. They can see a girl getting beat up and they'll just go about their day.
You know, like, and
business
then
as usual.
Like, I the meaning of a prophet is somebody that has given their free will over to God. And if you do that, it can be hard because sometimes you're doing it, you don't even know why you're doing it. You just do it, you know, because you know that's what He wants. And the times are coming to a close, and like this world is gonna have to recycle itself out someday. And you have to ask yourself, where do you want to go? Do you want to move on to the next, or do you want to sit here and do you want to be trapped in a garbage disposal? Like, if you see something, speak up. I was told a certain story by my great grandmother who adopted me throughout my life, but it never really made sense to me because I remembered something different. And when I turned 21, some people came back into my life that I hadn't seen for a very long time. And it was kind of confusing at first because like it kind of blew my mind. It made me go a little crazy for a while there, but like I caught myself up to what's what, and I calmed down a little bit. But in the end, like, things haven't changed, you know. I'm still by myself. My parents still aren't around. But I have God, and so that's all that matters. But it just frustrates me because like people get so sucked into like the shallower ways of life that they're not being in touch with what matters. It's like your soul is what matters. Like being honest is what matters. If somebody asks you if they fucking look fat, if they look fat, tell them so they can go to the film, bro. Like, don't lie to them. Tell them they look good. Like that. Like, if someone is sick and they're dying and they ask, do I look like death? Let them know so they know their time is coming. You know, like, honesty matters. Because believe it or not, more and more people nowadays, and that's another thing, I get so frustrated when people want to talk about people who are autistic. Like, people who are autistic are not retarded. I'm autistic, and I'll rep that shit any time of the day, any time of the week, any time of the month. It's took me lots of therapy, and then being with a woman who for years didn't remind me every single day of the fact that I was autistic for me to get to where I am right now. I'm highly functioning, and I'm highly intelligent, but I'm also highly logical, and I perceive things at a highly advanced rate. So I see right through the bullshit. And you know, I always ask myself, like, why has this happened to me? Like, what, like, it can be really easy to get stuck in the why me's and get down in the dumps and depressed, but you gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you have to see it for what it is. It's a lesson, you know. God's not here in full form. He can only give you your lessons through the manifestations of destinies that you have when you come into terms with interactions with other people. That in itself, like, is his teaching to you, her teaching to you, your higher power is teaching to you. Because in the end, God is too big for one religion, and it all comes down to one thing: God is love, and God is knowledge, and God is forgiveness, and God is a second chance. You know, like, ultimately, all He wants in the end is to give you your version of your happiness. What does your happiness look like? You can manifest that now. You don't have to wait. Like, you'd be surprised how quickly things can start to turn around. And I realize now, like, I have all this experience being out here one-on-one with all these people who are on the streets. I've gotten to know them personally. You know, most people just overlook them. These are all human beings, you know. These are all someone's children, you know, someone's niece or nephew. Like, they just had some experiences. Like, a girl who was raised by some people who thought who thought were her parents her whole fucking life. On her 18th birthday, she comes home after her graduation to find all her stuff outside and the apartment completely empty. She's homeless now, you know, she's transient. I met her. And she's having a hard time. And then there's a girl from northern Arizona who was an accident to some older parents. And in turn, they didn't know how to deal with her behavioral issues. And in turn, they signed her over to CPS, and she wound up down here. And what happens, it ends up in this cycle. And so I want to start a nonprofit, you know. I know how to help these people because I am these people. Like, these people are my family. Because and then we all look out for each other. And that's how we all should do things, you know. And just because we get our stuff together, that doesn't stop. We still keep in touch. And that's how it should be with everybody. Like, when you see somebody in the morning, say hi, you know. Like, actually acknowledge the person next to you. You never know when Jesus is coming back. You never know when you're treating somebody like shit that's not the angel that was supposed to take you to heaven. Yeah, that's it.
All right, then, Karma. Thank you. I appreciate the update. Are you okay if I post it up on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's fine.
What if somebody wants to reach out to you with any donations?
I have Zelle.
Do you want to put it out there?
Yeah, it's a Karma Sutra, KarmaSutra 118 @gmail.com.
All right, Karma. Thank you.
Nindy Michaels.